The drama begins with a young girl narrating her past. She says it was an ordinary day, but her mother suddenly started yelling at her for no reason. Her mother was an alcoholic who constantly drank and took out her anger on her daughter. We see the little girl quietly treating the wounds her mother had caused. Her father then walks in, and the girl begs him to stop her mother from beating her again. She explains that her mother hits her all the time for no reason, especially when she's drunk. But the father coldly says there's nothing he can do. He takes the mother out of the house, and as they stand on the stairs, he looks back at the girl and says goodbye, then suddenly throws her mother down the stairs. The girl rushes out and sees her mother's body at the bottom. Shocked, she asks her father if he pushed her. He smiles and lies, saying, "No, sweetheart, she fell by herself. I know she's been making you miserable, but don't worry, I'll get you a new mother, one who's rich too. But you have to do everything I tell you, alright? Don't fall down the stairs like your mom." He smiles, and the little girl just stares at him before going to her injured mother. The mother, still barely alive, begs her daughter to call an ambulance and save her before she dies, but the girl turns away and leaves her there. The mother dies alone. Years later, in the present day, a luxurious car stops, and out steps a famous actress named Jin, the same little girl, now grown up. We learn that Jin sees everyone around her as tools to use for her personal gain. She's manipulative, charming, and cold. So far, she hasn't killed anyone directly, but she has already caused 2 people's deaths indirectly. The story then goes back several years to show how this poor, broken girl became one of Korea's most famous actresses. We see Jin as a high school student, sitting in class as a furious student storms in. It's the teacher's birthday, and everyone is celebrating, but the angry student suddenly slaps the teacher across the face in front of everyone and shows them some inappropriate photos of her. The images spread online, and the teacher is fired and investigated. Parents look at her in disgust. Then we realize that Jin is behind this. She smiles coldly and says to the teacher, "Happy birthday. Did you like your gift?" The teacher is stunned, and Jin continues, "You always said I have no parents, so I brought you a simple gift, something I could afford. I hope you like it." Just then, Shia enters. She's the top student in the school and is immediately annoyed to see that Jin is now ranked number 1, not her. When she asks a teacher, she's told Jin beat her on the art test. Shia looks over at the art teacher, remembering a time she saw Jin standing alone with him. Just then, a boy named Hwang had appeared and told Shia to leave. Back in the present, Shia tries to become friends with Jin, but Jin won't let her. She just smiles at Shia in a way that's scary, making Shia realize she's not as simple as she tries to make everyone believe. Later, Jin and Hwang are congratulated in front of everyone. Jin for being number 1, and Hwang for winning a writing contest. The school announces a new competition, and Hwang and Shia are chosen to represent them. But Hwang speaks up and says, "I'm giving my spot to Jin." Shia is shocked and obviously upset. During the preparations for the competition, Jin completely takes charge, pushing Shia to the side. Shia complains to her mother, who just tells her she'll handle it. She says she'll just bribe one of the teachers, just like she used to do with Miss Quack, the teacher who got fired. Shia asks if Jin is so smart because she takes private lessons. Her mother says, no, she's an orphan. Her parents are dead. She definitely can't afford private lessons. This makes Shia very happy. We see Hwang go to meet Jin, who is waiting for him. He hesitates, turning his head for a second, remembering an image of someone drowning and calling out his name. He sits down with her, and she asks to borrow a book. When she opens it, she finds a letter inside. It's from Shia, written to Hwang, telling him she has a crush on him and thinks they would be a good match. She asks him what he thinks and if he feels the same way. Hwang tells Jin to just ignore it, but she's waiting for an answer. Jin says. Hwang just says, okay. The very next day, a rumor spreads all over school that Jin is an orphan. Shia was the one who started it. Because of this rumor, the school tells Jin she can't be in the competition anymore. They say the other parents have objected. We see Shia standing with her rich parents, smiling, very happy with what they've done. Hwang looks at Jin, who is sitting perfectly calm, but she's remembering how her own mother used to treat her. Shia walks up to her and mocks her. I heard they kicked you out of the competition. Those people are so mean. Jin just looks at her. You have a crush on Hwang, don't you? Shia freezes. Jin holds out the letter and gives it back to her. He told me to give this to you. He said he can't stand you. Shia looks down and sees new words written on her letter. Nobody could ever love someone like you. Stop being so pathetic. Shia is completely shocked. Later, when Shia gets home, she looks at social media and sees their school is at the center of a huge scandal. scandal. News broke that parents were bribing teachers, and because of it, the whole school was disqualified. Xia calls her mom, furious, saying Jin must be behind this and vowing to destroy her. Just then, Jin appears. "You spread a rumor that I don't have parents," Jin says, "so now you can deal with this rumor about you." Xia snaps back. "How can someone like you, who only eats and drinks because of my father's donations, even talk to me like that?" Jin just turns and walks away. When Xia gets to her classroom, she sees her textbook and realizes the handwriting on her returned letter is Jin's. It was Jin who wrote that horrible message, not Hwang. We then see Jin talking to someone about money. This person, a boy named Kim, walks into a restaurant. In the next scene, Xia throws a bucket of cold water on Jin, telling her to stay out of her way. Back in the restaurant, Kim is telling the owner that her son owes him money and needs to pay up. Later, Hwang is thinking about the girl he saw drowning. Jin enters the room, and Hwang immediately puts his jacket over her, and they walk out together. They run into Kim, the boy Jin was talking to. Kim is clearly annoyed to see Hwang with her. Jin tells him to get lost and hide the thing he just stole. We see he's holding stolen headphones. We learn that Kim has been stealing for a while. Jin caught him, and ever since, they've been working together. They run a loan shark business, lending money to other students and charging very high interest. Jin, of course, is the one who takes most of the profits. In his phone, Kim has her saved as boss. A teacher spots them, and Kim runs off, but he drops the notebook that has all their business details. Xia finds his phone nearby and sees the messages between him and boss. Later, Xia's friends tell her that Kim, the thief, was just exposed for running the high-interest loan program all over the school. Jin goes to meet Kim. He promises her he didn't mention her name at all. She hugs him, which surprises him. She thanks him for not exposing her as the one running the whole thing. He tells her to back off, saying his body hurts. She asks if his dad is still hitting him. He says he just lets it happen. He'd rather his dad hit him than go out and hurt a stranger, and besides, he can't hit his own father. "Yes, you can," Jin tells him. "You have to defend yourself. You're a useful person to me, and I don't want to see you being so weak." Kim is stunned by her words. From a distance, Xia is watching them, thinking she's hidden, but the person who is really hidden is Hwang, and he sees everything. At lunch, Xia tries to bother Jin again, but this time, Jin just laughs in her face and walks away. Xia takes Kim's phone and calls the number for boss. "So, you're the boss running this whole thing?" Xia says to Jin. "And here you are, acting all perfect in front of everyone, while you're stealing money from students. Just imagine what will happen when I expose you and get you expelled." As she says this, she looks up and sees Hwang standing right behind Jin. Jin just hangs up and walks away. Hwang calls out Xia's name, and she's surprised. On the school roof, Hwang tells Xia he's sorry about how Jin replied to her letter. He says he wanted to give her his real answer. He takes her hand and says, "I like you." Xia is shocked. "What? I like you," he repeats, "just like you like me." She asks if they're dating now, and he says yes, but, he adds, "I don't like girls who bother people, girls who are mean on the inside." He's talking about Jin. "If you really like me, you have to stop bothering Jin." Xia promises she will, claiming they're actually friends. Hwang smiles and says he'll take her to a movie at the end of the week. Xia is absolutely thrilled. Meanwhile, Kim gets a new phone and calls Jin. She tells him to meet her. He's upset that Xia knows everything and will definitely expose them, telling the whole school Jin's name. But Jin tells him, "Xia has your old phone. We're going to make a plan to get it back from her and expose her instead." She pretends to be upset, and he quickly agrees, saying he'll do whatever she wants. The next day, the class is collecting money for a teacher who is getting married. Xia is busy putting on makeup, wanting to look beautiful for Hwang. When her friends ask her about what she did to Jin, she brushes it off, saying, "Oh, we're just friends. You know, friends." They're confused by her answer. She's at her locker, and Jin is at the locker right next to her. Jin secretly texts Kim the combination to Xia's lock. Xia goes to meet Hwang. He tells her, "During gym class, tell the teacher you're sick and meet me in the classroom." She's excited and agrees. Of course, she listens to him and skips gym. While this is happening, Jin goes to the art room to talk to the art teacher. Xia gets to their classroom, but it's empty. There's just a note on the board that says, "Come to the art room and erase this." She obeys and goes to the art room. The moment she leaves, Kim sneaks into the classroom. He takes the wedding money they collected, opens Xia's locker using the combo, and texts Jin, "She's on her way to you now." Xia arrives at the art room and sees Jin with the art teacher. Jin is telling him she has a problem with her hand, that it's shaking. He holds her hand to steady it. Xia, watching from the door, assumes they're in a secret relationship. All the students come back to the classroom. Xia is sitting there, upset that Hwang never showed up. The girl who was collecting the wedding money suddenly shouts that the money is gone. Everyone immediately suspects Xia. She was the only one in the classroom, and she lied about being sick to be there. Xia gets furious and starts emptying carrying her bag yelling, "Search me! I didn't take anything!" Kim speaks up. She put it in her locker. Xia stands in front of her locker, blocking it. "Nobody is opening my locker," she yells. Kim just shoves her aside and breaks the lock. Just then, Jin arrives. Kim reaches into the locker and pulls out his stolen phone. Then he pulls out all the wedding money. And then, he pulls out the headphones he had stolen earlier. Xia is framed for everything. She starts screaming that Jin did it, that Jin and Kim were running a loan scheme, and that the proof is all on Kim's phone. Kim hands her the phone, but when she looks, there are no messages. Now, everyone is convinced she's a crazy liar. The teacher who's getting married walks in. Xia, desperate, points at Jin and yells, "She's in a relationship with the art teacher. I saw him holding her hand." The teacher walks over and slaps Xia hard across the face. Jin smiles. She knew this teacher was engaged to the art teacher. Jin steps forward, pretending to be innocent. "Oh, you must have misunderstood. I was just having a problem with my hand, and he was helping me." Everyone turns on Xia. They ask her why she was even in the classroom in the first place. She looks at Huang and says she was there to meet him. They all turn to Huang and ask if that's true. Huang looks at her and says, "I don't even know her. I never said anything to her." Xia starts to cry, asking him, "Why are you doing this to me?" He looks at her coldly. "This is for bothering Jin." They drag Xia away as she screams. The scandal explodes, ruining her reputation and her family's name. Later, Xia confronts Jin, who just mocks her. Xia threatens her, "Don't forget, my family is rich. We can destroy you." "Your family?" Jin replies. "You mean your dad? Did you ever wonder who that traitor teacher Miss Quack was cheating on her husband with? It was with your father, the great lawyer. Imagine what would happen if that news got out." Xia is speechless. "It's true. I'm an orphan," Jin says. "But that doesn't mean I'm all alone." She remembers her own mother on the stairs, begging for help as she just walked away. Jin steps forward and hugs Xia. "Thank you for making this boring school so much fun." We hear someone ask Xia what she thinks of Jin. Jin goes to visit her mother's grave and tells her all about what she did to Xia. She remembers walking with her mother once, when her mom told her, "Go in there and get me 2 bottles." Jin went in and stole them but got caught. The shop owner grabbed her, calling her a little thief and demanding to know where her mother was. Jin's mother, who was watching from outside, just hid. We see a flashback of her father throwing her mother down the stairs. Then we see him at the police station, crying fake tears, holding his little girl as if he's a grieving husband. After the funeral, he takes Jin to his lover's house. Jin asks if she's going to an orphanage. He says, "We'll live here, but if she doesn't like you, then yes, you're gone." They go inside to meet the woman. She tries to say hello to Jin, but Jin doesn't answer. The woman calls for her son, Huang. She tells him, "This is my new husband, and this is his daughter." This is how Jin and Huang first met. Later, Jin's dad tells Huang's mom that he wants to sell Jin, saying they can make a lot of money off her. Jin overhears this from the next room and starts to cry. Back at the school, Jin's dad shows up. He sees Xia talking to her mom. When Xia hears him say the name Jinbaek, she asks if he knows her. He says, "I'm her father. I'm looking for her." Around this time, Kim has stolen Xia's diary. He gives it to Jin, who finds that Xia has written horrible things about everyone in the school. Kim tells her if the other students ever see this, they'll tear Xia apart. Just then, one of Jin's friends tells her that her father is at the school looking for her. At the same time, Kim gets a frantic call from his brother, screaming that their dad is going to kill him. Jin's dad is making a huge scene, yelling for her to come out. Xia is watching, excited for the scandal. Huang arrives and tells the dad to come with him, offering him money. Jin watches them. Xia tries to stop him, asking, "What about your daughter?" "What daughter?" he yells. "I don't have any kids." Xia is stunned. As Huang leads the dad away, Jin accidentally drops Xia's diary on the floor. The school's meanest bullies find it. Huang takes Jin's dad to an ATM to get him cash. A woman is watching Jin from a car. We learn she is Seo, the CEO of a huge production company. Huang gives the money to the dad on one condition: never show your face to Jin again. The dad agrees. Huang says if he stays away until graduation, he'll give him even more. The dad agrees, commenting that Huang has a better character than his mother. As he leaves, he yells to Jin, "I'll see you again." The producer, Seo, gets out of her car and approaches Jin. "Do you want to be a star?" she asks. "No," Jin says. "What agency are you with?" Seo asks. When Jin doesn't answer, Seo says, "I'm just trying to understand why you refused. I just don't want to," Jin says, and walks away. We see a tragic scene as Kim's brother is being beaten by their father. Kim tries to defend him, ends up stabbing his father, and kills him. Huang finds Jin and tells her not to worry, that her dad won't bother her anymore. Only for a little while, Jin says. He'll be back. Huang promises to protect her. He asks if she still wants to get revenge on Xia. Jin just says that by now, the other students have probably found Xia's diary and are taking care of it. And she's right. We see the bullies surrounding Xia. They are beating her. She tries to offer them money to stop, but they just keep hitting her. Kim calls his aunt and tells her he's sending his little brother to live with her. He asks her to forgive him. Then, he calls Jin. He tells her he killed his father and is at the police station, about to turn himself in. Jin's advice is cold. Act as remorseful as you can. Cry in front of them. They'll give you a lighter sentence. He laughs. But I'm not sorry. He deserved it. Do it so your sentence is shorter, she insists. He tells her she's the only person in his life who ever told him he was worth anything. Then he hangs up. After the call, Jin leaves the school for good. Sometime later, Jin gets accepted into law school. Hwang is incredibly happy for her. At Kim's trial, he remembers Jin telling him that if he ever wanted to have a relationship with her, he had to stop being a thief and become a good person. She told him she would find a use for him. Thinking of this, he breaks down and cries. He is sentenced to 3 to 5 years in prison. Jin's father, after losing some money, sees a news report about students from Jin's old high school getting into university. He goes to the university and finds Jin's name on the list, right next to Hwang's. At the same time, Hwang is borrowing money from his grandfather to help Jin pay for her tuition. Jin's dad goes to Hwang's mom, looking for Hwang and assuming Jin is with him. She tells him she doesn't care. She says she raised Jin for a little while, after he went to jail, but then left her. Hwang finds Jin and gives her the tuition money, explaining it's a scholarship he got for her, but he really borrowed it from his grandpa. He tells her to focus on her dream. She smiles, but when she gets home, her father is waiting for her. She threatens to call the police, but he grabs her phone. He says he just wants money. He grabs her bag, and she fights back. He hits her, then beats her, takes all the money Hwang just gave her, and leaves her lying on the floor, unable to move. As she's on the floor, she has a flashback. She remembers when they were kids, Hwang came to her, sick. His mom didn't care about him. Jin was the one who took care of him, bringing him cold cloths. He thanked her, saying she was nothing like her mom. He showed her a picture of his parents and their driver. He said he looked like his mom, but Jin noticed he actually looked just like the driver. In another flashback, Jin confronts Hwang's mom. Hwang showed me a picture of his dad. He was sad because the driver left. The driver is his real father, isn't he? Hwang's mom is horrified. I know your secret, little Jin says, so you'd better take care of me, because if his grandfather finds out you cheated, he'll destroy you, and I am not going to an orphanage. We see another flashback. Jin finds Hwang sitting alone, sad. He tells her his mom doesn't care about him. Jin tells him, that's because she doesn't love you. If she ever got the chance to get rid of you, she would. His mother overhears this. She calls Jin's dad, telling him Jin is crazy and manipulating Hwang. He says he'll come right now and take her to the orphanage. Jin overhears this and confronts Hwang's mom. If you send me to the orphanage, I'll tell Hwang who his real father is, and what a horrible person you are. The woman snaps. She drags Jin to the bathroom. Hwang hears the banging and hears Jin screaming his name. His mother is holding Jin's head under the water, drowning her. Suddenly, she sees Hwang standing in the doorway, watching. Jin breaks free, grabs Hwang, and tells him, call the police right now. Tell them a child fell from the second floor. She looks out the window and sees her dad arriving with men to take her. When Hwang's mom comes back into the room, Jin jumps out of the second-story window. At the hospital, Jin's dad and Hwang's mom are arguing. They can't sell her if she's disfigured. Hwang covers Jin's ears so she can't hear them. She asks him why he's crying. He says, I read your diary. I know about X. This, we learn, is her other personality, which only comes out when Hwang isn't with her. He cries and tells her he loves her and will always protect her. She asks if he'll stay with her. Yes, he says, I'll always be by your side. He holds her hand as she wakes up. She's been unconscious for 3 days. Hwang has to tell her the bad news. She missed the university registration deadline, and on top of that, her father found her and stole all the tuition money. She attends her high school graduation, completely heartbroken. Hwang's mom tries to congratulate him, but he tells her to leave. He follows Jin. He sees a thief grab someone's bag, but another man chases the thief and tackles him. Jin just stares at this man. She has found her new tool. This man is Choi, a former baseball player who had to retire because of an injury. Jin gets a job at the cafe he owns. Hwang finds a new apartment for her, someplace safe where her dad can't find her, but she refuses. She says she'll just give her dad money when he shows up. Hwang is worried. Hwang's mom argues with him, asking why he's still following Jin around like a fool. He silences her, reminding her that she's the one who threw Jin out on the street when her dad went to jail. The mother begs him not to leave her. At the cafe, Jin hears on a true crime show that most murder victims are stalked before they are killed. The college guys from Hwang's university come in and are all hitting on Jin, which makes Hwang jealous. Later, Jin's co-worker tells her that her pictures are all over the university's social media. He also mentions one guy in particular whose liking has gone a little too far. Producer Seo sees all this online, noting how Jin got famous just for her looks. Jin's co-worker asks her if she minds her pictures being everywhere. She says no. She asks him him what Choi likes to watch. He tells her Choi was a pro baseball player until his injury, so now he just watches games all day. Just then, an agent named Mr. Young comes in with good news for Choi, telling him he might be able to play again. Jin tells Hwang how kind Choi is. Choi gets a call from an unknown number. "Where's the girl who works at your uni?" a man's voice asks. "It's the stalker." Choi hangs up. The stalker goes to the cafe looking for Jin, but they kick him out. Later, the stalker follows Jin as she gets off the bus. In a dark, quiet street, he attacks her. Hwang, trying to find her, discovers her bag thrown on the ground near her house. He hears a scream and finds Jin, about to kill the stalker with a brick. Hwang stops her. She screams at him. "Do you even know what he was about to do to me? Are you okay?" he asks. "And what if I'm not?" she replies, walking away. "You're not brave enough to kill someone for me. That means you can't protect me." The stalker tells Hwang he'll call an ambulance, but begs him not to tell anyone what happened. He then throws away the brick Jin used. When Jin gets home, her father is waiting for her. She overhears him on the phone, telling someone he'll sell her when he gets bored of her. She approaches him. He taunts her. "What? You want to throw me off of something?" He then beats her horribly, takes her money, and leaves, saying he'll be back. She gets up, crying and laughing at the same time. Hwang meets the dad on the stairs. "That girl is bad luck," the dad warns him. "Ask me. I know. My life has been cursed since she was born." Hwang runs up to check on Jin. She gets close to him, telling him she doesn't want to lose him, that she treats him differently than anyone else. He admits that sometimes he's scared of her. The next day, Choi notices the bruises on Jin's neck from her father. He asks if she's okay. She says it's nothing. He tells her that if she ever needs help, she can use him. She's surprised by the word he chooses. He simply says he's worried someone might hurt her. Meanwhile, Hwang catches Jin's father leaving a women's restroom with a hidden camera. He has been filming women to sell the videos. Hwang starts recording him as he runs away. Hwang chases him, and they fight. The father blames him for the 5 years he spent in prison. Hwang says he did it to protect Jin. "She's my daughter!" her father shouts. Hwang starts choking him. He even picks up a rock, ready to kill him, but he can't go through with it. When he looks up, he sees Jin watching him. The police arrive. At the station, Jin does something unthinkable. She sides with her father. She tells the police that Hwang is her stalker, that he's the one who hurt her, and that he attacked her poor father, who was only trying to protect her. Hwang is shocked. He tells the police that her father is the one who hit her, and that he recorded him coming out of the women's restroom with the videos. He asks for his phone. When they hand it to him, the video is gone. Jin had found his phone and deleted it. With no proof, Hwang says nothing, and he's arrested for assault. He asks her why she did this. "Your plan would only get him a few years in jail," she says. "I want him gone forever, and that's something you can't do. If you could have, you would have used that rock." She leaves him behind. At home, Jin fakes a fresh wound on her face so Choi will see it. The next day at the cafe, he asks if she's okay. She tells him she's been stalked for days and lives alone, but insists she's fine. Worried, Choi offers to walk her home. On the way, he gives her a can of pepper spray. She asks him, "Do you ever regret helping someone? What if helping a stranger backfires on you?" He says no. He believes you should help people who need it. She smiles and tells him he's a good person. He walks her to her door and offers to help her find a safer place to live. She says she's okay. As he leaves, he hears her scream. He runs back and finds a box on her doorstep. Inside is a dead rat and a note that says, "You're next." She acts terrified. They hear someone running away. Choi chases a person in a beanie but loses him. Jin watches from her window. Choi returns, and she asks if he's hurt. He says he's fine and gives her one of his old baseball bats to protect herself. Later, Jin's coworker sees her at a convenience store and also notices the stalker in the beanie following her. Then we learn Jin had given that coworker a thank you note. He was the one who put the rat in the box. Jin is behind everything. Jin goes home and destroys her own apartment, making it look like there was a violent break-in. Then she texts her father, "Come to my place tomorrow at 8 p.m. I have your money." He's thrilled. Producer So finds Jin at the cafe and offers her a contract again. Jin says she'll accept, but first, she has a small personal problem to solve. Choi asks Jin if anything happened last night. She lies and says she was too scared to stay alone, so she slept at a friend's place. But when she came home, she found someone had broken in. Choi is extremely worried. He asks where she'll stay tonight. She says she doesn't know. He tells her to stay at his father's empty house. She agrees. Then the coworker tells Choi he saw the stalker again. Suddenly, they hear Jin scream. They run to her, and she has cut herself. At 8 p.m., her father arrives at her wrecked apartment. Sensing something is wrong, Choi sends Jin off in a taxi to his father's house, but as soon as he leaves, she tells the driver to take her back to her own address. She tells Choi she just needs to grab something quickly. She arrives home and smiles at her father. She pulls out a beanie identical to the stalker's and tells him to put it on. She's so happy she starts to cry as she hugs him. He's confused. All right, he says. "Just give me the money so I can go." She hands him a bag. He tells her she's too emotional and needs to toughen up. He opens the bag but it's empty. He laughs and she laughs with him. "You're not getting any more money," she says. "What are you going to do?" He growls. "Kill me? Go ahead. Kill me if you can." He immediately starts beating her. While he hits her, she secretly calls Choi. He answers and hears her screaming and begging for help. He rushes to her house. At the same time, Hwang is released from jail. When he can't find her, he heads to her house too. Jin's father keeps beating her. She glances at the clock. She just needs to survive until Choi arrives. "I'm not going to kill you yet," her father says. "I still want money." As he turns to leave, she grabs him. He turns back and hits her again. She gasps that the money is in the bathroom. He goes to look, but it's empty. When he comes back out, she sprays him with pepper spray. He's blinded, but still manages to grab her and keep hitting her. Just then, Choi bursts inside. All he sees is a man in a beanie violently attacking Jin. He thinks it's the stalker. He drags the man off her, shouting, "She's young enough to be your daughter. How could you do this?" As Choi bends to check on Jin, her father stabs him. Furious, Choi grabs the baseball bat and hits him hard. Her father falls and doesn't move. Horrified by what he's done, Choi runs. Seconds later, Hwang arrives. He sees Choi running away, then finds Jin's father lying in a pool of blood. Jin gets up, takes out her phone, and calls the police, crying, "My father is dying. Please help." As soon as she hangs up, she starts laughing. She remembers what really happened. After Choi left, her father was still alive. He reached for her, whispering, "Jin, help your dad." She held his hand. "You're still alive," she said. "Just die already. This is your punishment for destroying my childhood." She took the beanie from his head, cut it into pieces, and flushed them down the toilet. When the police investigate, Choi is arrested. The detective asks Jin, "Your father died because Choi hit him, is that right?" "Yes," she says. They interrogate Choi. Jin says, "You killed her dad with your bat." "I didn't know it was her dad," Choi cries. "I thought it was the stalker. He was wearing a beanie." "The victim wasn't wearing a beanie," the officer says. Jin tells her detective, "My father wasn't wearing anything like that." Choi is lying. The officer asks Choi, "You saw him bleeding, and you just ran?" Choi remembers the scene. We hear Jin lying to the police. "My father tried to defend himself with scissors, but Choi hit him in the head and killed him." The truth is, Choi did try to help. He tried to wake her father and was going to call an ambulance, but Jin stopped him. She told him to run, that she would handle it, crying until he left. Confused and terrified, Choi tells the detective, "I was scared. I ran." The detective questioning, Jin notices something. "Your father died between 9:30 and 10 p.m., but you didn't call the police until 3 a.m. Why did you wait so long?" Jin says she was unconscious. "Your father used to hit you, didn't he, Jin?" the detective asks. Just then, he gets a call from Mr. Young, the baseball agent. Jin remembers he wanted to sign Choi. She realizes what's happening. She overhears the detectives. Mr. Young wants Choi out of the way, so they're going to blame Jin instead. They'll take the bribe money. She's just an orphan, they say. A nobody. She can't fight back. Jin records the whole conversation. She watches as the corrupt detective meets a man and takes the bribe. Hwang is watching from a distance. He then sees that same detective break into Jin's house, looking for evidence to use against her. Instead, he finds the small pieces of the beanie. Jin is arrested for her father's murder. Mr. Young's lawyer tells Choi he'll be cleared on self-defense and should forget about Jin, who clearly set him up. At the station, an assistant from producer Seo's company is getting one of their actresses, Luna, out of a DUI by having someone else take the blame. She sees Jin being brought in. The police corner Jin. "You texted your dad. You lied to Choi about a stalker. You called him right before the murder. And you lied about the beanie. We found pieces in your toilet. Your dad was hit many times. Choi's first hit didn't kill him. Only you and Choi were there. Choi ran. So you finished him off, didn't you?" Hwang is also at the station. He tells his grandfather's lawyer not to say anything to the old man. He has to save Jin. Jin asks to go to the bathroom. She slips a note to a female officer, telling her to check her phone for an important recording and photos. The officer listens to the recording of the corrupt detectives. They move to arrest him, but when they search his car, the bribe money is missing. He moved it, knowing they were coming. He confronts Jin, telling her he won't let her go until she's charged. Hwang has a different plan. He goes to the head detective and confesses, "I killed Jin's dad. I was her stalker. When her dad tried to defend her, I killed him." He says he went to the hotel where her father stayed and found out his location. He claims he killed him right after Choi ran. Jin is released. Her fingerprints aren't on the bat. Hwang's are. The case is closed. Hwang is the killer. But Jin remembers what really happened. She was the one who hit her father over and over until he died. Hwang arrived after everything was done. She told him, "It's done." Remembering her words about not being strong enough to protect her, he made a decision. He went to the bathroom and collected the beanie pieces. He wiped her fingerprints off the bat. Then he held the bat himself and hit the already dead body, leaving his own mark. The next day, the detectives find holes in Hwang's confession. The hotel owner says Hwang came at a completely different time. They know he's lying to protect her. When they confront him, he breaks down, screaming, "I killed him, I love her, I have to protect her." The case is officially closed. Choi hit Jin's father, and that's the end of it. Jin is now with producer So. We learn that So is the one who controlled everything. She got Hwang out, cleared Jin's name, made sure Choi was the only one blamed, and even had the corrupt detective arrested. Jin agrees to do whatever Seo tells her. Seo's first condition: you must cut off all contact with Hwang forever. She explains that once Jin becomes famous, people will dig into her past. They'll find Hwang, and the whole story will come out. Jin simply says, "I was already planning to." Seo locks the official police file away. Hwang meets Jin and tells her how dangerous everything was. "I'm free," she says. "I'm out of my father's prison. That's all that matters." "Did you have to do it this way?" he asks. "It was the only way," she says. "You couldn't do it, so I did." "And that's why you used Choi?" "He chose to do it," she says. "He was scared for you," Hwang yells. "He wanted to help you, and you did this to him. Why do you care about him so much?" Jin snaps. "I don't care about anyone but myself. I've never had a normal life. No one ever cared about me, so why should I care about anyone?" He sits her down, saying he will make up for everything. She says she doesn't want it. He tells her he loves her, and begs her not to leave him. He clings to her, desperate for the love his own mother never gave him. She pushes him away. "I'm a user. You're better off without me. You're going to pay for what you've done," he says. "I have to," she replies. "It's how I survive. Don't see me again." He says her life won't be as great as she thinks. He hugs her one last time. "I can't let you live such a hard life alone. You have no idea what I've been through," she says, pulling away. "You're too good, Hwang, and your goodness puts me in danger." She leaves him crying. Jin becomes a star. Her face is everywhere. In a prison, Kim watches her new movie, tears falling down his face. And that's the end of the recap. Those were the first 4 episodes. If you want to see the rest of the story, please subscribe to the channel so you'll get the next part.